the stray dog actually started tutoring the girl's homework. The girl took the opportunity to ask a math question. The dog immediately calculated the answer. Not only that, but it wouldn't allow anyone to disturb the girl's study time. Even more absurdly, it would remind its owner every day that it was time to pick up the child. But despite being such a smart and obedient dog, the man didn't want to adopt it. He even often locked it outside. What was even more frustrating was that the man spoiled another dog named Lao Hei. He would shake hands with Lao Hei every day. When the stray dog saw this, it also extended its paw, but was always ignored by the man. Unbeknownst to the man, the dog hiding in the corner also yearned for its owner's recognition and wanted to fit in with the family. So to find a sense of existence, it even jumped onto the sofa and started tearing up the house. But this often backfired. When the man came home, he immediately showed a strong dislike for the stray dog. Helpless, the female lead could only promise the dog she would teach it the rules. But the next day, an unexpected incident occurred. The dog suddenly climbed onto the bed and even put its nose under the female lead. Then the dog seemed to notice something and suddenly became extremely agitated. The female lead hurriedly tried to calm it down, but the dog refused to listen and kept barking at them until the female lead got angry.
Jun, kamu kayak ngeliatin anak kecil aja sih?
Strangely enough, when the dog heard these words, it suddenly became very quiet. At that moment, the female lead finally realized what was happening. They had no time to think, so she quickly took a pregnancy test and discovered that she was pregnant. But the news that should have been joyful was met with a bitter expression from the man, because the dog became very agitated around children. The man was worried about the child, so he suggested they get rid of the dog. But after the female lead pleaded with kindness, he reluctantly agreed to let the dog stay. But what no one expected was that on the day the female lead gave birth, the dog broke free from its chains and rushed to the hospital to find her. Seeing the dog so excited, she wasn't sure whether it could get along with the baby. When the baby entered the room, the man immediately locked the dog outside, not giving it any chance to get near the child. At that moment, the dog saw the neighbor's big yellow dog happily playing with its young master. Seeing this, the dog felt a sense of loss. In fact, it didn't have animosity toward all children. It also loved its young master. It just didn't know how to express that love. But soon, their life would take a turn. In the middle of the night, the baby's cries came through the intercom. The couple was immediately woken up. The female lead hurriedly got out of bed, but before they could check, the baby's cries suddenly stopped. The couple froze on the spot, as if they realized something terrifying, and immediately became nervous. The man even jumped out of bed in fear, but unexpectedly, the dog had somehow made its way to the baby's room. It was quietly guarding the baby. The man was terrified and hurriedly tried to remove the dog, but the attentive female lead had already noticed that with the dog there, the baby wasn't afraid and actually stopped crying. It was as if the baby could sense the dog was protecting her. Despite this, the man was still worried the dog would harm the child, so for safety reasons, he resolutely locked the dog outside. But the dog was still concerned about its little master. Just then, Lao Hei suddenly appeared. The dog immediately saw a glimmer of hope and called Lao Hei over to help. Lao Hei understood what it meant and reached out to open the door. Once inside, Lao Hei didn't forget to close the door, but once the dog was inside, it didn't run around. Instead, it sat